By cider pork tenderloin. Wow is one word that I have to describe how tasty this cut of meat is. Marinated for 24 hours, smoked to a perfect 140 degrees. I'm going to serve it with a savory whipped cream, a little bit of goat's cheese, orange, scotch bonnet peppers for that spicy kick. Boom. Let's go. Ingredients are very simple and straightforward. I have a pork tenderloin that weighs 1.2 pounds. And then I'm going to salt it with 1% salt. And I'm going to marinate it for 24 hours with this spiced apple cider, yeah? For the savory whipped cream, I'm going to whip some heavy cream until it gets nice and stiff peaks. Fold in some softened goat's cheese, and then I'm going to add in the zest and juice of this mandarin orange. Also, I have a couple of these scotch bonnet peppers that I grew from home. I'm going to cook these on the smoker as the pork tenderloin is smoking, and I'm going to chop it up and then fold it into the whipped cream, yeah? Amazing. First thing we need to do is trim all the silver skin off of this pork tenderloin. The silver skin is not very pleasant to eat, has a weird texture to it when it gets cooked, okay? It's not very good. Get yourself a sharp knife, get under it, boom, trim it. I don't really worry about any kind of fat like that, but I do want to get rid of that silver skin. Now I just salt it. If you're ever curious about how much salt you want to use when you're doing a quick dry brine like I'm doing today, right there is going to be the percentage that I always go with when I'm seasoning meat when I'm doing a dry brine. 1% of the weight. If you follow that 1% rule, then you don't really ever run the risk of undersalting it or oversalting it, yeah? Takes a lot of the guesswork out of stuff, yeah? Now we just want to let this sit for about 45 minutes with the salt on it, and then we're going to marinate it. Next, to plop this into a zip top. Grab this spice cider. You really don't have to do anything else to the pork because the spice cider has a lot of great flavor to it, and then we just season the pork really well, so you don't have to do a whole hell of a lot more to that. Actually, needs a little bit of acidity too, so a little splash of apple cider vinegar, probably like 2 tablespoons worth of that. Just kind of help tenderize the meat, give it good flavor. So the trick is to get all the air out of the bag without squirting the marinade. You want to marinate this for 24 hours. It's going to make the meat nice and tender. It's going to give it really great flavor. And we're going to smoke it. So just all of the above, you're going to have really fantastic, moist, tender, flavorful pork tenderloin. This one, let it come up to room temperature, close to it, and then we're going to toss it on the smoker. While it's doing that, we could go ahead and make this savory whipped cream. To do that, I'm going to put heavy cream into a bowl. You could use a mixer if you have one, or you just do it by hand, which is what I'm going to do. Whisking it by hand is going to take about 5 minutes or so, something like that. Just want to whip it until it forms some stiff peaks and it holds its shape, and then we're going to fold in the softened goat's cheese, and then we're going to add the citrus of the mandarin and juice of the mandarin, and then I'm going to cook the peppers on the smoker, let them soften up, soften them, and then fold it into this whipped cream, and it's going to be amazing. Whip, whisk, whisk until it forms stiff peaks. That's it. So almost there. It happens really quick. Once it gets to this point, then it's just only a matter of like 30 seconds or so. This is a good way to practice whisking with both hands too, so you're going to get tired. It's impossible to over whip heavy cream like this. I mean, you'd have to be going at it for hours for it to turn into butter. It's a little different story if you're using a stand mixer. That's it. That's what you're looking for right there. Stays on the whisk. Pinch of salt. Pepper. Do you want to give it a taste before you add that goat's cheese? See where it's at. Salt. Has enough acidity to it. It's beautiful. Okay, goat's cheese. It's a little cold, so I gotta let Chef Mike warm it up real quick. What I like to do with this is I do like to kind of whip it in the bowl. It's nice and soft. It needs to be, you don't want to have it like hot. You want to have it just be warm enough to be soft. It's good. That goat's cheese is nice and acidic too. It's going to add a little bit of acidity to this as well. It's good flavor. Right there. That's the consistency that you're looking for. You could put herbs in here. You could put rosemary. You could put tarragon in there. That's damn near perfect, dude. A little pinch of salt, a little bit more pepper. All we need to do now is Turn off that pork, smoke it, smoke those peppers, add the peppers to this, plate it. It's perfect. Alright, next step. Keep this in the frizzeretta until we need it. I don't know, I don't usually save marinades. A lot of people like to reduce them, make a sauce with them, but I'm a little weirded out about that. So I'm not going to do that. Now I want to pepper the sides. I like to go heavy on the pepper on this. A little light breeze, yeah, a little bit of a light breeze today, not bad. Right, next. Just go outside, warm up that smoker, put this meat on there, put the peppers on there, and then we'll go from there. Let's go.
So I got my smoker warming up. I have lump charcoal as a heat source and I'm using oak for the smoky finish. My scotch bonnet peppers have a very, very delicious flavor. They're nice and fruity, nice and spicy, and they take on the smoke very, very well. On my offset smoker, I'm placing the peppers on the rack that is furthest away from the firebox. After the peppers go on the smoker, now goes on the beautiful pork tenderloin. I'm going to insert my thermometer probe into the pork, that way I can monitor the temperature of the pork as it's smoking. 140 degrees is the temperature, then I'm going to pull it off the smoker. It's going to take about an hour to hour and a half on the smoker for the pork tenderloin to reach that 140 degrees. Temperature wise, I'm going about 200 degrees to 225 Fahrenheit. Peppers are ready to be pulled off the smoker when they're slightly shriveled and nice and soft. The peppers and the pork are done at the same time.
Sick, dude. So fresh off the smoker, we're gonna let this rest for about 20 minutes. While it's resting, let's finish that savory whipped cream, okay? Got the peppers here, nice and cooled off. This pork, dude, pork smells so good. Really, I don't want the seeds and the placenta in there, so open the pepper up and scrape them out. Now, let's just give this final taste. Whoa. That's good, man. And those peppers are really nice touching that. Scotch bonnets are really good, man. They're fruity. They're, it's hard to explain. They're like a habanero, but more fruity. It has a really, really great amount of heat to it. Just enough, man. It really adds a nice touch to this savory whipped cream, dude. So this pork's been resting for about 20 minutes. Check out that smoking on there. Proper, dude. Cut off a couple of medallions. Really want to just taste this as is before we put that whipped cream on there. That savory whipped cream tastes amazing. This is gonna taste good. Yeah. Right at first it tastes obviously smoky because it's smoked pork tenderloin. And then you taste the flavor of the pork, and then you start to get that flavor from that marinade, dude. That spiced apple cider really comes through right at the very end. Okay. Okay. All those flavors together are so nice. That pork is nice and smoky. The flavor of the pork is amazing. The taste of that marinade is amazing. Then you pair it with this savory whipped cream, right? Spicy, has a citrus hit to it, has goat cheese in it, nice and savory. It's such a nice touch to this pork, man. If you want to make a complete dish out of this, this would be really good with like whipped parsnips, like goat cheese on there, and then some like roasted vegetable. I'm thinking like roasted Brussels sprouts, something like that. It's perfect. Oh, spicy fucking goodness, man.